Mumbai with Bachelor of Chemical Engineering, and I have placed in one of the MNC in at EPC firm last year through college campus placement, but they have yet not confirmed my joining due to COVID-19 situation, and they said they will take decision according to the situation, how it pans out. So basically, throughout my graduation, I have done summer internships and research project at various institutes like IIT Bombay and NCL, and I also worked with one of the PhD student where I assisted her in her experimentations. So basically, I want to get into the research area. Probably want to do PhD, but my GPA is very average. All about around 7.1, but I have good research experience. Basically, problem is I have a problem that our college has a system where they help us to get in. They help at our application process for you abroad. Basically, what they do is they classify the students based on their GPS and distribute the LOs accordingly. Means if you are a rank one, then you will get a best LOR from basically from vice chancellor or one from HOD like that. So they will have advantage, and those people only get to apply at University of Howard or let's say UT Austin or best universities. So the
Mhm.
lower ones get uh, attached to lower ranking universities. So
Mhm.
my question is, so should I directly go for PhD, or should I go for masters or MS, or should I go for MTech? So for example, should I go for MTech at IITs or IICs? For
Mhm.
example, the college from where I am, it's
Mhm.
which has very reputation in US, particularly in chemical industry. So my senior has suggested to go for MS, not do your MTech, because it will not have any value because you are doing same thing again and again. So what should I do, or basically what should I go for searching a job? And I have another question is that what's the scope of PhD? Means I wanted to get into the academic position. It is possible in US to get a job in academia, because in India there are very few seats in academia. For example, in professors and they require very high standards. Means your guide matters a lot and all those things. So
Okay, understand. So let me address your question one by one, okay? And just give me a feedback if you have any additional question on that. So let's talk about first of all your job, right? So they have not denied your job. They have just asked you
not
to
yet, not
wait,
yet. Yeah,
right?
not yet.
Yeah. And assuming I am feeling after talking to you is that is your first preference, like working for a company, right? This
Yeah,
PhD and everything is coming to your mind because you are having this anxiety of what if they say no, what I'm going to do.
mhm,
Is
mhm.
it correct
Yeah,
or not?
yeah.
Okay.
That's one aspect. But throughout my graduation, I always wanted to do, go into the career, sorry, research career. For example, in R&D, or that's why
Yeah,
I have worked in various positions.
right. But here's the thing. I need to understand. You need to understand. You can't have your foot on two boats. You have to make a decision,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
As I said, many times it happens that let me tell you, and it happens very commonly. I spoke to a lot of students, and even when I was an undergraduate, it was very common. All people always have plan A and plan B,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Just like your plan A is I'm going to have a job, but there is something that interests me. Maybe I can seek for a master's or a PhD. That's
Mhm.
plan B,
Yeah.
right? I would say it can happen that many times if plan A doesn't work, you are forced to do plan B, and that becomes your career, which is okay,
Okay. Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So my advice to you would be is look at just one second. Thank you. So my advice to you is, can you close the door, please? Yeah. So I would say my advice to you would be is always you are doing the right thing by looking at plan B option.
Okay. Yeah.
You're doing the right thing, but you should also know that your application for 2021 are almost done.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not considering for 2021. I'm considering for 2022. If
Okay, okay,
uh,
okay,
they
okay,
they will not give job for, I will do research assistantship or something like that.
okay, okay. So let's hope that they give you an offer.
Mhm.
Let's
Okay.
hope that, and let's
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure based on the vaccines are going to come out. I'm pretty sure companies are just
Mhm.
waiting. I'm hoping maybe in February or March you will hear back from them, or maybe early. As far as they have not denied your visa, denied your sorry your job application, right? Your offer.
Mhm.
I think the question really comes, let's say you join that company and still you have this in your mind that I still want to go and do a PhD. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have few friends who have worked in actually in Infosys and many other companies. And then after working for a year, they went out.
Actually, our alumni has a problem that many companies complain that many students leave the company just after 6 months, 1 year, or 2 year
Yeah,
pursuing their. Uh,
but let me tell you, this is not a common thing. When I was undergrad, 2003, it
Mhm.
was the same thing. Every company complains that. That's common. That's not new thing.
Mhm.
And that's not a
Yeah,
new thing in just in India. It happens everywhere. People do what they want to do. Do you understand my
yeah,
point? So that
yeah,
should
yeah.
not be your concern,
Okay.
right? That should
Mhm.
not be your concern, because as I said, it happens every year. It happens every decade. Because if company is see the problem, these type of problem happen in the companies who are who think about themselves, not about the people.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
if the company is so good that they think about the people, trust me, nobody leaves,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
that's right.
And you can't force anybody to do what you want. It's a democratic world. You can do whatever you want, right? So
Mhm.
so don't even think about that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not saying that you do some kind of a bad thing for a company, but as far as your choice is concerned, because here is the thing: if company wants, they can fire you next day, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
it's a two-way street, right? So it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. I think you should think about what is good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the second part of it now,
Mhm.
which is about application process, how you should apply, the way letter of recommendations are given in your schools and all that,
Mhm.
and and also what you want to do after PhD. What are the options? What you can do, right?
Mhm. Actually,
So here's the thing: is yeah, go ahead.
actually, I'm aware of the current situation in USA and job situation because I have talked to many seniors, and they also told me that uh, we have a long queue for GC, and there are H1B issues, and there are several things that I don't want to go into the deeper. But
Yeah,
I have just one
I
question: is it worth it?
oh yeah, yeah.
It is wise to spend so much years, and because anytime they can fire you and you have to come back, and it's get difficult to find here a job. So
Right. So, if what you just told me, if that was a concern, nobody would come to US, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
people flock to US. So that is not a
Yeah, yeah.
problem. See, what
Mhm.
you are telling me, as I said, again, what you are telling me, oh, this has happening, that is happening, and all that. As a student, I can tell you just one thing. Don't
Mhm.
focus on the outcome. Focus on what you want to do.
Mhm.
The path will automatically follow. It will you will follow the path.
Mhm.
So don't worry
Mhm.
about the outcome, because I think your worry
Mhm.
should be what is my interest and what I'm going to enjoy. That should be your worry.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because as I said,
Mhm.
if you are good, if you're interested in something and you're performing good, I think
Mhm.
to be honest with you, it's not just US. You, no matter where you go, you will do good.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So I guess a lot of people come to US with a scope that they will do a job.
Mhm.
Doing a master's or doing a PhD, it's just a bridge for them, not a learning.
Yeah. I
So,
agree.
and then if they don't find a job, those are the people who talk like that.
Mhm.
Because, as I said to
Yeah.
you, when I was an undergrad, and I can give you my example, because that's the best example I have. I came here not that, oh, I will do a PhD and I will find a job, right?
Mhm.
But I enjoyed. I think, right, as you did your internship. I did my internship at IC Bangalore, and a couple of places at CSR Labs,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And then I moved
Yeah. Yeah.
to, and then I said this is what I want to do, and I went for masters and PhD, and I did a postdoc. Then I had difficulties, visa, everything, but everything solves out.
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's not like end of the world. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way, right? So as I
Mhm.
said, as a student, your focus should be what my interest is.
Yeah.
Because if your interest is, oh, I want to find a job in US and settle there, I would say
Mhm.
your focus should be what I can learn and everything, because the end will happen eventually,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So I think, I don't, as I said again, I don't give an advice to a student that based on, oh, you can find a job or not, because I don't know. And
Mhm.
again,
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of things can happen, your personal life, your professional life, things may change. So you can't, I really can't say
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But only thing I
Yeah.
can tell you for sure is, if you are good in what you're doing, you will be good, fine.
Okay. Mhm.
As far as your admission is concerned, whether you want to talk about Harvard or MITs or anything, I didn't go to those universities. I want to go
So,
to. Yeah, go ahead.
my only concern is I don't want to get into the lower rank. That means I want to get into decent ones, like uh, the research facilities, or they should offer me something that TAs and RAs, something like that,
Right.
so
So
I
here,
can work on that.
right. So what I can tell you, there are two ways. Especially, see, if you are coming for a master's program, the chances of you getting a funding is almost zero.
Yeah.
Okay, almost.
Yeah.
But if you are going for a PhD program, chances of you to get a funding is 99%. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about then top universities and not so top universities. I would say there's a trade-off for a PhD. So unlike in India or any other country, US is a little bit different. You can find good professors everywhere.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like India, you have to work with a good professor, you have to go to IITs, right? It's not like that in here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You can find good professor at Arizona State. You can find good
Mhm.
professors at Rice University. You can find good professor at Maryland. You can find good professor at MITs. But doesn't mean that good professor in Arizona State or Rice or Texas Arlington would be a bad one. It will be good. That means really
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
means their research work everybody follows, right? And if you look at
Mhm.
Nobel Prize winners and all that, not everyone is from MITs or Harvard, right?
Yeah.
So you need to think that. So my advice in that sense would be, number one, either you go to a good university or go to a good professor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, one
But
has to
actually, sir, the
one thing
many
has to be.
universities.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
my concern is that many universities in US, they give first admission, then they will allow you to choose a professor. So it's not really the vice versa. So
No,
That's my
it's other,
concern.
yeah, yeah, but it's works the other way too. Like for example, again, I can tell you about myself. When I applied, I went talked to professor directly. I didn't went to other way. It works. It can work both ways.
Okay.
It's a both way street. So if you contact a professor, you like the research, and if they like you, trust me, professor has a lot of power in US. They can make a decision.
Okay.
Right. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that your GRE score or your TOEFL score should be screwed up. I'm not saying that. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is, if you have a good score, not the best score, good score,
Mm-hmm.
decent
Mm-hmm.
GPA, and a professor likes you, you can get admit, no problem.
Okay.
As
Mm-hmm.
far as you pass the cutoff of the university, because many universities have cutoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for
Got it.
example, they have a cutoff for GRE and TOEFL. As far as you pass that, I think the professor can make a decision. But you have to also
Okay.
understand that
Mm-hmm.
in good universities like Stanford's, MIT's, or Austin,
Mm-hmm.
they get good students. So the
Mm-hmm.
competition will be higher. So that means
Yes,
they will have
mm-hmm.
students who have a good GPA. And let me tell you one thing. When I was, we were doing undergrad, doing an
Mm-hmm.
internship at ISC, IIT was not that common. We were only few
Yeah,
one
yeah.
who were
Mm-hmm.
doing at that time, but now everybody
Mm-hmm.
does it.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that, like, so you need to say, okay, what are my strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
GPA, letter of recommendation, good
Mm-hmm.
research papers,
Mm-hmm.
good TOEFL GRE score. So you need to categorize that, and then you can make a decision. Okay, where should I apply? Because trust me, uh, there are students from IITs who are applying, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
students from
Yeah, yeah.
ISCs who are applying, and
Mm-hmm.
IITs. And trust me, I don't think I have spoken to any student who had told me that they have not done internship at some IITs or not. Everybody does it
Mm-hmm.
these days. It's so
Mm-hmm.
common.
Okay.
It's very.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you will find even in your batch there are so many students who have done that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have again
Mm-hmm.
you have to think what are your strengths.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
so so and based on that you can make a decision which is not which would be on the conservative side, saying that okay,
Mm-hmm.
what my strengths are, what my score is. There has to be
Mm-hmm.
something that put you on the
Yeah, yeah.
top.
Mm-hmm.
As I said,
Mm-hmm.
we were going undergrad, this was not common at all. We were only first
Mm-hmm.
few ones who actually went to do an internship. Like this was like
Mm-hmm.
15 years back,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
just keep that in mind that nowadays going if you say I have done internship at here and here, trust me, everybody will have the something like that.
I have to stand out among the crowd, so
Yeah, no,
admission
that will
committee should have
right. So just think of it, right? And then there is a COVID situation where people are not finding a job. Application process will be tough anyway,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what all I'm trying to tell you
Mm-hmm.
is you have one more year and you are thinking of
Mm-hmm.
applying in 2022. If you find this job good enough, but if you're not, you really need to seriously think about what I can do this 1 year to make my application strong. You seriously need to think. And I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you a couple of things. Number
Yeah.
one, don't screw up your GRE and TOEFL. Don't. That's like a disaster.
Mm.
Because if
Yeah.
you get
Mm-hmm.
a low score, no matter
I
what
will.
research experience you have, it will not matter.
Mhm.
So make
Yeah.
sure your GRE and
Okay.
TOEFL score is number one, like the top. That's number one.
Okay.
No, GPA,
Okay.
you cannot do much. Letter of recommendation, you probably
Mm-hmm.
can because you can go to some IITs, ICs or something and do some research. But I would
I can
definitely
get a good.
go
I
ahead.
can get a good LOR because I have worked previously on the scientists at CSIR and some of the professor, which they know me better and they have good reputation abroad. So I can get a decent LOR. That's not an
Yeah,
issue.
right, right. But you need to understand, in US, a lot of times the letter of recommendations from the professor who have taught you the course value the most.
Yeah,
You need to understand that.
because some of my professors have studied at MIT and something
Yeah,
like U Boulder, yeah, something. So I can get
yeah,
LOR from them also.
yeah. So again, my point here is, I think for you, my best piece of advice would be you need to
Mhm.
make sure that you get excellent GRE and TOEFL score. If you screw that up, that would be tough for you, because that is the only way your chances of getting a scholarship, getting into a good school, or even getting an admission is much higher.
So, mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this 1 year would be crucial for you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Any other question you
So,
have for you?
mm, so, sir, should I do a research assistantship at a good university, or should I go for something for publishing? Some you are talking about the LORs and something like that. So should I go for a, because what happens in research, there are a lot of professors who want a very good research paper in a very reputed journal, and that's take a lot of time, sometimes 2 years, 3 years, and like that. So publishing a research paper in 1 year, it's a very difficult task. And suppose I want to publish a research paper, there are some professors who allow me to do that, but they will be have very less impact factor. So
But as I said, I never said you need to publish a paper. I never said that. Having a research experience is okay. That's more than enough. Because everybody knows that. And other thing I want to tell you, here's another thing. Um, uh, let's say if you're not able to get an admission to a PhD program outside and all that, going for an MTech program in India for an IC and IITs would be the next best thing that you can do. So
yeah,
again, as I said, make sure you have plan A, B, C,
yeah, yeah. So
because once you get
mhm,
into an IIT for an MTech program, you will get
mhm.
paper published, and those are the students who are more sought out also.
Yeah, yeah. So I have preparing for GATE for couple of months since lockdown,
Right,
and in my last year also I have qualified GATE with decent rank, but that was not enough for IITs. So
right.
this time I'm hoping for a good rank. So
Yeah, and but make sure to go to IITs. Don't go anywhere else. That's also
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So as I said
So
to you, if that is the case, you will be fine. But depends on where you land up or your GRE, TOEFL, whatever. Going for a gate and going if you get into IITs or ISCs is not a bad idea. Yeah,
okay. Mhm.
yeah.
So,
Because
I have kept it as a mhm.
yeah. Go ahead.
So I have kept it as a plan C or something like that. If
Yeah,
if if the worst case happens like that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. As you said, it has to be. But I'm pretty sure you may get in a placement at your company, so you should be fine. But as you said,
Okay.
just make sure you prepare for your gate. To be honest with you, if I was you, the only two things I will focus right now is preparing for my gate and preparing for my GRE and TOEFL. That's it, nothing else.
Okay.
Because I think you have enough
Mhm,
research experience and everything you have.
mhm.
Once you finish your GRE, TOEFL, once you finish your gate, maybe I
Mhm.
can spend time, but not before that. don't
Okay.
don't don't think too much about, oh, I don't have papers. They don't matter anymore.
Okay.
They will not give a value, trust me. Your GRE, TOEFL, and your gate score, you need to make sure that you finish those properly and then do the next thing, research and whatever.
Mhm.
So lock yourself down and just prepare for those exams,
Okay, sir.
nothing else. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Mhm,
Don't waste your time in doing anything else, trust me. It's not going to help you.
mhm,
If you're going to say, oh, I should go to IIT, this and that, it's not going
mhm,
to help you at all.
mhm.
Yeah. First, finish your GRE, TOEFL, plan out when you want to give your GRE and TOEFL, whatever, and give it.
Mhm.
And then you want to do what research, then it's okay.
Okay.
But not before that at all. Don't screw up your
Mhm,
grade score. Don't screw up your GRE, TOEFL, because if you're going to screw that up,
mhm.
you will be in tough spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I will focus on GATE, and after that, uh, I will focus on GRE and TOEFL and
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
like that.
Don't worry about anything else, because here's the thing.
Mhm,
If your company will give you, say, you can come and this is the joining date, you can go, right? You just have to wait,
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't do anything to that. all you can do is sit at home and prepare for exam, and don't worry about anything else
Yeah, yeah.
at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't worry too much about
Uh,
research and all that.
mhm.
It's not going to work. It's not worth.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
That's a.
as I said to
Mhm.
you, once you get a GRE TOEFL score and all that, it depends on where you want to work and all that. Many students want to do
Mhm.
PhD and come back to India. So
Yeah.
if you get into a PhD program at ISC Bangalore, a good PhD program,
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure you can find a academic position in any IITs, because those are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
students who go.
Yeah.
But getting a academic position in US, unless and until you get into good schools, it will be tough.
Mhm.
I can tell you
Okay.
that. It's
Mhm.
not that, like, if you have MITs, Stanford, then it's pretty easier. If it's other universities, you have to have really strong candidate. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying, if you go to a very low university, the chances are almost zero.
Mhm. So I understand that, but just one thing I wanted to ask that. So, what are the prospect after completing my PhD? So, because
Like,
if I return back,
uh-huh. Go
if
ahead,
I
go ahead.
return back to India,
Mhm.
so does I have to start from the zero, or I will have an edge over other candidates? Because uh,
I mean, if you go to any IITs, all these professors are coming from US or somewhere else.
no, no, sir, from US.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. From
Sorry.
US.
Okay. Mhm.
I mean, what I'm saying is just go to Department of Mechanical Engineering or Chemical Engineering at any IITs. Just look at the professors where they did PhD. Everybody's from outside. So it doesn't matter.
Okay. Mhm.
I don't think it matters at all. I
Mhm.
mean, getting into IITs, it's not easy. You have to have a
Yes.
postdoc experience or something, but I don't
Mhm.
think age or anything, that sort of a thing, unless until you are 50-year-old. I mean, that's a different thing, but I don't think it matters. I
Okay.
think if you
Mhm.
finish whatever your age is, if you do your PhD and do a postdoc, you can be
Mhm.
eligible. That's not a problem.
Okay. Mhm.
But because, as I said, the easiest way to look at it, go to any IITs or any NITs and look at where the professor have done their PhDs. You will find
Mhm.
90% of them are from outside. So they came, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So how
Mhm.
does it matter then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this lockdown made us very what you call it. So I got very confused. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
no,
I
no,
have mailed you
yeah.
and
No, no, that's fine. I mean, as I said, I think you are probably fourth or fifth students I'm talking from your university. There are a lot of students who
okay.
have contacted, and as I said to you, it's very common, and I'm glad to help you.